Hello, my name's Susan Allen and I worship at All Saints in Appleton and about once a year with you all at St Thomas. I always get a lovely welcome, so it was really nice that Aaron invited me to speak in your series about hope. Gulp. I felt like I would need backup, so I went straight to St Augustine. You can always rely on Augustine. Augustine wrote, "Hope is a necessity for us in these days of exile from heaven. When a traveller gets tired of walking along the dusty road, he puts up with fatigue because he hopes to arrive home. The hope for heaven, which we have now, is an important factor, easing the pain of our just exile and sometimes harsh journey." In 2012, I went on a journey. It wasn't harsh at all. It was actually delightful. I visited some nuns at Voboda in the Czech Republic. They had felt that pain of exile, and not just from heaven, but in this world too. When the communists arrived, the sisters were forced from their convent into work in schools and factories. They found one another again, and in twos and threes, they set up in apartments. They kept in touch. They kept the Blessed Sacrament secretly in their kitchen cupboards. They kept the faith, a way of walking in hope. And when the regime changed years later and they could return to their life in community, their numbers grew rapidly as more and more young women sought out their way to join their way of life. With hope, it can help to take the long view. I thought about those sisters the other day when a friend was telling me about a service she attended at Canterbury Cathedral. Canterbury, like many of the great cathedrals of England, was a Benedictine foundation from its origins until Henry VIII. The 20th century tragedy that beset those sisters in Voboda was a very little exile by comparison with the devastation wrought upon religious communities by Henry. In his bid to break all ties with Rome, he routed monasteries, convents, and abbeys up and down the land, vandalizing them and dispersing their communities. But now here was my friend at Canterbury. The Archbishop was there, and so too was the Benedictine abbess of the nearby community of Minster. My friend was profoundly moved to see the Archbishop kneel before the abbess to receive her blessing. A little bit of heaven came down to earth after all that time. To paraphrase Fernando Sabino, in the end, everything will be all right. And if it's not all right, then it's not the end.